generational trauma or inherited fear, and my experience with acupuncture. Hey everybody, thank you so much for tuning into my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about generational trauma or inherited fear. So first of all, what is generational trauma? Generational trauma is inherited throughout your bloodline, throughout your ancestors, throughout your mom, your dad, their mom, their dad, their mom, their dad, all the way down your lineage. It's a thought or belief that has been passed along again and again and again and again, and it is a negative experience or a negative thought or belief that is now a dominant thought or belief in your mind, and it could either be relatively there that you can actually see it and you know that it's there, or it could be in the subconscious in a part of your mind that you don't know that it's there, but you keep having the same experience over and over again, and it is not the desired experience. And at times it could just be something that you experienced as a child or when you were younger that you've just held on to. It could be inherited fear and trauma of your own. So what I want to talk to you about today is an experience that I had that I actually had no idea was connected to being able to heal these inherited fears or generational trauma that could be there, just like a deeply rooted fear from your childhood or from, you know, something that may have happened to you or your parents or, you know, somewhere back along the lines. It's really interesting. So I went to see this acupuncturist because I was having some pain in my chest, like right here in my heart chakra area. And it was like pain that was going like directly through to the back of my shoulder blade, the back of my left shoulder blade. So I asked the acupuncturist, you know, can we work on this area? Like it's clearly in my heart chakra area. So I go to him for one session and I feel a little bit of relief. I come back a week later and I'm telling him that something's definitely loosened up. Like I definitely feel like a little bit looser, and I actually feel like my mind is a little bit looser. Now, the second time that I go there, he tells me that he's gonna do a different technique of acupuncture. So I'm like, all right, fine, you know, that's cool with me, whatever works. So he works on the back of my shoulder blade, and I hardly feel the needles this time. Whatever he's doing is totally different. He comes to the front, and I tell him like specifically this one area where I can like legit feel a tightness in my muscle, in my chest. And he's like, all right, well, I'm just gonna put a needle right there. So he puts the needle in that specific area, and he's doing whatever needling technique, and I literally feel this like pinching, burning sensation. But it wasn't painful to the point where I wanted to get up and run. It was almost like a release of pain. And I almost just felt frozen for a second because it felt like something was being let go that was being held on to for so long. And in my mind, I literally just heard, finally. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, while this is happening. So he leaves the room and I'm literally just laying there because all of this happened in like 3 seconds. Like all these different emotions started coming up. I'm having flashbacks from when I was a child and things that have happened to me that I considered to be traumatic. And later, when he came back in, I asked him, you know, what was that? Because it was such an interesting thing that happened to me. Like, what was that? And he told me that it's actually a spirit point, and it's called the spirit ruin. So he's telling me that there's these actual spirit points that are on the meridians that are in acupuncture, and that particular point is connected to inherited fear and generational trauma. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Like literally when I had the experience, when you put the needle there, I had a flashback of my childhood, of something that I have been trying to heal for a very long time. And it was just like in that second, the release. So further doing more research on this point, I found out that he's absolutely right, and that there's acupuncturists that really specialize in healing generational trauma, and they call it more along the lines of inherited fear, just something that you're carrying with you and you don't know that you're carrying it with you. And when it goes on for such a long time, and maybe sometimes even at the beginning, the body can tighten up in a certain place and hold on to that for you so that you can continue to go along with your life. And if you never come back and revisit it, it starts to cause pain, and there's a message behind it, and there's a wanting to let go, there's a wanting to release, there's a wanting to move on. That was my experience with acupuncture. I had no idea that you can heal generational trauma and inherited fear from your childhood, from lifetimes ago, things that have been passed along to us unknowingly and sometimes knowingly. But yes, there are points in the body, meridians along the body that are connected to that. And just, you know, if you are having some sort of pain, it's really interesting to get curious about what the message is behind that pain. And what is it that's wanting to be released and wanting to be let go and wanting to give a message to you? Pain is not always a negative thing. A lot of things actually do come from a place of love, even if we don't recognize that it's coming from a place of love. However, all that we feel in here is pain. So the more that we can be gentle to ourselves and the more that we can just start to love on all of the parts of ourselves, even the parts that are hurting, we can actually reveal the message that is lying underneath the pain and allow it to be released. So for me, after that experience, I have just felt so much more free, and it's like a piece of me was just holding this baggage for so long. Like, I was just afraid to step forward and afraid to have my voice be heard, afraid to start my YouTube channel, afraid to just say how I really feel. And it was just like a release. And I came out of the appointment just completely smiling. I'm like, I don't know why I'm so happy. I'm so happy right now, and I don't know why. But yes, energy is real. Your body can hold on to stagnant emotions. Your body can hold on to pain. So it's important to incorporate healing in your journey of life and make it regular. Make it something that you're interested in, and make it a way that you can really begin to love on yourself, wounds and all, new experiences and all. And there are many, many different holistic methods for healing, apparently including acupuncture. So that's my experience. If you've had any experiences similar, I would love for you to share your experiences in the comments below. If you resonated at all with this video, please share this video, like this video, comment below, subscribe to my channel, and let me know what other kind of videos that you would like to hear. Okay, thank you so much. I love you. Have an awesome day.